loves football. I shamefully knew nothing about football. So I went online and read every excerpt I could find on the internet. I even called my every single friend who I knew would know something about the sport and asked them daily to make me understand football. I didn't even miss a single match of football after knowing his sports fondness. One day he was talking about how big a fan he was of Led Zeppelin and how crazy he could be to even have a glance of Jimmy Page's guitar. I, being total unlettered, didn't even have any idea of who was Led Zeppelin. Surfed the internet and then came to know that it is a famous rock band and he liked heavy metal music. I then bought nearly all the cassette tapes I could get of Led Zeppelin so as to understand him a little more. I even bought a guitar and started learning chords so as to make him smile. I nearly wore all blue colored dresses as he said he liked me in that blue colored dress and that I looked beautiful in blue. So I hankered to buy blue outfits more and more. I painted my room blue, I changed my bed sheet to blue, I replaced my toothbrush to blue, now even my favorite drink was Blue Lagoon. I remember that day he said he would call me, but he didn't. He was online, but my text was not seen. After waiting continuously for an hour or two with a lot of hope, I asked him whether he was busy with something. He said he was playing Dota 2 with his friends. I again, shamefully knowing nothing about esports, started surfing the internet about the game and asked few of my friends to teach me as well. Maybe if I could play esport, he would have some time for me then. You know, when you are in love, you don't have any control of yourself and you want to give it all. Give your everything to make them stay and completely change yourself to an unknown person to be on par with their interests so as to become the hyperfixation of their heart. You don't know what's right and what's wrong as it's your very first new emotion you are getting acquainted to. There were days when he desperately wanted me. There were days when he couldn't even recall me. I had him both. I was there calming my own heartbreak when he was talking about how he still liked her and she did not. And there I was trying to fix his love life with her. I felt him in tears. Some days he used to only talk about her, and if next day I asked about her, he ignored it and said how he admired my beauty. I again fell for his words. You know, words are deceitful. I always felt it was. He was always there with me when he felt lonely, when he felt I could give suggestions to him. One day he was sorry for ignoring me, and another day he again ignored me. I didn't know whom to trust. Days went on. I cried a lot, but I never said that to him. Maybe he didn't even bother to ask a single day how I was doing. I finally said that day, maybe we wouldn't work out long term. To which he replied, yeah, we always had different interests. Different interests? Did you even know about any of my interests? I say indifference. I asked him, what do you mean by love? To which he replied, that's an impossible question to answer. I answered it to myself. Love is not a choice. You don't choose to love when you feel lonely. You don't choose to love someone to make you happy or that you couldn't function without that person. You just fall in love with that someone because when they are around, good things get better and bad things just seems a little less worse with that person. You can't help but share everything with that person and want to be by their side always, even when you don't have anything to talk about. You don't choose to love. Love happens. And it changes you completely inside and out. You change for that person not because that person wants you to, but because love makes you change to be a more fragile person, a lovable person, a sensitive person, and much more soft than you ever thought you would be. Love is love. You don't choose love to happen, you just fall for it. It happens. I realized I never liked heavy metal. I realized my favorite color was never blue actually. It was, I guess, purple. I realized I preferred outdoor games to indoor. I realized I was forgetting myself little by little. Years went by. Today, all of a sudden, I get your message in my chat box. I knew what you wanted, but I was gone years ago. I felt pity to see you this time, but trust me, I don't regret to have crossed paths with you. Because after meeting you, I realized I never knew myself. I'm happy now. Alone, lonely. I do cry at times too now, but I'm not the same me anymore. I'm well acquainted with this emotion now. So I'm thankful actually to have met you. And maybe that's a part of growing up. The days were beautiful, the feelings felt were heavenly. And if life was an ostinato, I would have played those memories on repeat for all eternity to feel the same way I felt before, to get back the same me I was before. But alas, we are growing up now. You say time hampers the amount of love you have for the other person? I say it does not. As time passes, things doesn't get changed, but our priorities does. Our expectations does, and when we get hurt by that one person who means so much to us, even if the words are not what we expected, then we try to distance ourselves from that person, as we know we can again make the same mistakes we did that time. Several thoughts kept crossing my mind. Feeling heavy, I decided to go for a walk. I opened my wardrobe to fetch something to wear, and unknowingly, my hands laid on that blue dress.